poppin', beautiful people? Welcome back to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best. We are here to go over a new show. The show is on Hulu. If you don't have Hulu and you have cable, it does air on the Freeform network. But we are going to be going over $1 Million Nannies. We have James from Watch Your Mouth Reviews who has agreed to join. Welcome in.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm excited for this new show.
Oh, we should be excited for a new show. We love a new show. We love a new show. I am going to be replacing this show with Calabasas Confidential as well. Well, I'm replacing Calabasas Confidential and Love and Hip Hop Miami with this show. I have a bunch of things I'll be adding. I'm going to be adding a lot more scripted shows. But if ever y'all suggest something, someone suggested this to me, so that is why I am here. I do hope you guys consider liking the video on your way in or out. It is an easy way to support my channel. There are also links in the description of this video that will take you guys to James's channel, as well as links to other great Black creators and co-hosts that help out on this channel. We are going to actually do something different. I'm going to share screen to people.com. Shout out to People. As Kempire says, we want to cite our sources. We're just going to go over who's on the cast so we can get to know them. Because I was taking notes and I realized at the beginning of it that they're introducing themselves. We have no idea who really any of these people are. So I saw that people.com did a article on it. We're going to make us small and people big and ignore the ad. We're going to just get right on into this show. And we're going to start with Miss Leah. That is who we open up the show with. Leah Bars is the most relevant nanny of all of them. The premise of this show, which I actually kind of enjoy, is the nannies are going to be renting a nice house in Ibiza, and they are going to be working for the rich, not just the regularly rich, you know, like what you see on Housewives, but like the filthy, stankin', just money dripping from every breath that they take rich, which is interesting. She is known for being a nanny to, I believe you said Kourtney Kardashian. I just know they said the Kardashians.
It came out that it was Kourtney Kardashian that she used to nanny for.
Ah, okay. So she used to nanny for Kourtney Kardashian. She's got a laundry list full of people that she nannied for who are relevant. And pretty much what she's doing is she's trying to start a nanny service, which is smart. I did used to nanny. I do daycare. So if especially in nannying, there's not really much of a career. You can make one if you're lucky to find good families over and over, but it's difficult because eventually kids get to the age where they don't need a nanny. So your job is always kind of going to max out as it relates to time. So I think it's smart that she's putting together a nanny agency. But why do you think, James, that they chose Ibiza of all places? I know that's where the rich party, but like it's random.
I think cost-wise, it was probably a lot less expensive to film there versus doing it in LA. I think that there's a lot more to be desired. And then the opportunity is they're on vacation. And a lot of them, at least from what we met in this episode, didn't have a current nanny at the moment. So I think this was a good test subject for them to do a trial period and then maybe make some permanent relationships. But I'm going to say this before we get into meeting everybody else. I don't know my idea of nanny because I'm a little bit older. I was looking for Aunt Jemima or Thelma Harper or Alice from the Brady Bunch. I was looking more so for them. I wasn't looking into a bunch of 20-year-old nannies. That's new to me. So
you must not be around kids a lot, darling.
No, I am not. I am not.
That's why I say she's very smart to say she wants to start a nanny service, because nannies are usually somewhere between the age of, I'll say 18 to like 30. 30 is kind of cutting it and older.
Wow.
The oldest, like that's more average than the nannies that they show on TV. I know when I was nannying, I did it from 16 all the way up until 25. So, I mean, I respect what she's doing.
Yeah, you were. I was like, well, see, because I was looking for Miss Gomez, from Married to Medicine. Where was Miss Gomez at? I I would hire Miss Gomez because Miss Gomez actually had a baby eating pinto beans. When I was 5 years old, I wouldn't even think about no pinto beans. I probably ran from some pinto beans. Now, as a grown adult, I'll eat them, but no.
Y'all, the next cast member we got to get to know is Jack. Jack, I believe, is the Manny. He is a Manny. He's known as the New York Manny. A Manny is a male nanny. They do exist. It's a little almost taboo for understandable reasons. I'm sorry, I don't care how men feel in this situation until the statistics are on your side in terms of things that happen to children and women, and until your strength is equal to that of a child or a woman. I wouldn't want security. Yeah, I wouldn't feel the most comfortable with a male nanny unless I had like a son, and even then I would need someone to watch. That's just me. But the Mannies are here. Jack is a Manny in New York City. He's pretty young, I believe 22, 23. A lot of this cast is young. The oldest ones were, I believe, Sydney and Leah, as well as the other Manny, Mitchell. But we'll get into Jack a little more. He's an OG Manny. Yes, he's 22 years old, and we shall see. We shall see. We have Hannah Joy Davis. That is quite a name. Hannah is a professional dancer. She also lives in New York. She is a nanny. We have Mitchell Bienvenu. I hope I said that right. He is known as the Midwest nanny. He pretty much takes it seriously. Straight guy. We've got a straight nanny. We've got a gay nanny. I like that they didn't just put gay nannies, because I've actually worked with some male nannies and childcare providers before. None of them have been gay. So I'm like, let's show both of what's going on in the world. But we have him. His girlfriend is also on the cast. He's in a committed relationship. We are going to come back. Actually, no, I'll go over it now. So Mitchell's in a committed relationship with Taylor, who I'll show you her picture in a moment. They haven't really worked in luxury nannying because they're working throughout the Midwest. However, they have been together for 5 years. They live with his parents. They approach in 30, and they sleep in his childhood bunk bed. If y'all was in California, New York, Florida, I'd accept that. But you're in the fucking Midwest. You can afford rent. Why are you still at home? Where's your nanny money going? Because 9 times out of 10, it's just a personal check or cash you're getting. So you're not even getting taxes and stuff coming out. Where is this money? Did you find it weird that they've been together so long, are sleeping in his bunk bed, and there's no engagement? There's the
I don't know.
They just been living.
To me, this is like perpetrating for me, because I don't believe he's straight, allegedly. So, and I feel like, to me, the girlfriend, I forgot her name, Taylor. Right?
Yeah.
She gives me very oblivious and very just, not that there's no common sense there. So I don't know. I kind of was looking at them very side eye, very like, because to me that didn't make sense. Y'all are in y'all mid-20s, well, he is, and you mean to tell me y'all couldn't at least get a studio apartment? And if the nanny was not paying for y'all to live on your own, being together 5 years, so why not one of you or both of you get different career paths and do this on the side?
Preach. They're also people saying he has 94,000 followers on Instagram and 324,000 on TikTok. So I'm wondering why.
It really don't make no sense then.
I don't understand. This is the girlfriend, Taylor Hayward. Taylor is interesting. She's kind of new to nannying, but I'm going to go back over her in a little bit, but she's probably one of the ones I would say seems the least known. Then we have Miss Olivia. She is from Connecticut. She grew up rich, which gives her an advantage in dealing with the rich as a luxury nanny. We'll come back to her as well. We have Tamaya Dene. She is a nanny out of Scottsdale. There are a couple of them who are out of Scottsdale. I believe it was Sydney, Tamaya, there's another one who came out of there. I can't remember, but she's coming out of Arizona. Scottsdale is an area in Arizona where a lot of the elite and those with money, as we know, for who watches our Beverly Hills Housewives, they end up going there.
Yeah.
I am just happy to see some color. That's pretty much it with me. We will come back to Tamaya because I didn't have much negative with her. We didn't get enough of her,
Yeah.
in my opinion. We have Sydney Siegel. Sydney is best friends with Leah. They are very, very close. They have of everyone here, they have the most stacked resumes in terms of experience nannying, but we will see what Sydney gives. She is known, they described her as somebody who doesn't take any shit from the people that she works for, which I heavily respect. And it looks like that is about it for the people that at least People Magazine felt were important enough to discuss. So we'll get into the episode. I just wanted everyone to see their faces so we know who the hell we're talking about, because Hulu, can y'all do like the other shows and show the name? Or, you know, when Bravo goes to another housewife scene and they'll be like, this is Kenya. Like, we don't know these people yet.
Yeah, especially when some of them favor each other, so it was hard to kind of discern because the two girls with the black hair, I kept getting them confused with each other.
Olivia and Sydney. I did that
Yes,
too in my notes. I said,
yes,
oh my God, y'all both look the same.
y'all look the same, and I was like, because in my notes I had that Olivia got the first job with Lee. And
Yeah,
now that you said Sydney, I was like, oh, I gotta change that because that's Sydney. Okay.
They look the same. It's not just you. I was taking my notes. I said, oh shit, which one is this? So that's how I knew about that People article, y'all, because I was Googling while taking notes, like who's who. But we're gonna get into some of what's going on. There's some connections. Sydney is friends with Taylor. Random. Very, very random. But I love to see that Taylor has a friend or Sydney has a friend that's regular, because when you hear that Sydney was closest with Leah, I didn't expect her to be friendly with somebody who doesn't have much experience, but they have a relationship. Jake, the Manny in New York, he is good friends with Hannah. It sounds like they're like in a similar borough and they work together. Hannah works as a professional dancer. It's just a mess. So what irritated me is you're supposed to be starting this business, right, Leah? You are something else, because I don't understand how it is that you have the group splitting rent. I don't understand.
You don't understand.
Like,
Leah would have been.
Why are they splitting rent?
Leah would have been shit out of luck. Because I tell you, I'm coming way out here to work with you, and I got to split the rent when you probably getting the back end to whatever contract I'm about to get.
And she's made it. She's presented it to the ladies like she's going to be doing them a favor and plugging them. But we see through the episode, every plug for them is a plug for her.
Yes.
Essentially. So I'm kind of like, okay, Leah. That was like the first red flag for me with Leah. Because I was like, wait, what, girl? That's a lot. But outside of that, Leah's going to be the person doing the scheduling for everybody. She's going to also create some rules, which are important. Again, Ibiza is a party town. It's very likely that the people that they're nannying for will see them. So she establishes the rule that nobody should be drinking 12 hours before a shift. And it sounds like the rule was kind of like there was some gray and blurred lines in there, but essentially, I guess you can drink 12 hours before a shift, but she doesn't want people to like get effed up 12 hours before a shift, which is fair and responsible. You shouldn't be working with kids under the influence or with shit still in your system. How did you feel about her little rules?
I'm going to come back to the little rules. I thought that they were, okay for what they were. And definitely you need to set some standard when having a business, because essentially these are subcontractors or, independent contractor employees. So you want to make sure you set some standard for them. So I can appreciate in the beginning of her setting these rules. However, towards the middle and end, I will have a difference of an opinion. But for now, because we ain't there yet, I like that she has some structure.
Well, regardless of what happens at the end, the question was about the rules, not how we like how you feel about the rules don't have to do with the person.
Well, no, I like that she had them. That's why I said I like that she had rules. I like that she had some structure. And that's why I said we get to the middle to the end. My mind is going to change about how she enforces those rules and who they apply to.
Oh, of course, of
Yeah.
course. So Leah was asked some questions about working for the Kardashians by, I believe it was Hannah and Taylor.
And yeah.
And
Those two.
they ended up speaking about they were like, we want to know what it was like to work for the Kardashians. I guess white women really love them. I don't get why they're so famous, but hey, people love them. But Leah explains that she has an NDA, so she can't really talk about it. And honestly, I think she'd be talking about it. She's just not going to do it on camera, which is smart because no one can prove that you spoke about it if you're not filmed. So she's actually very smart. But I was not surprised to hear that they had an NDA. I've had to sign NDAs, nannying for just regular kids in the Oakland Hills. Like, it is a very common thing in nannying, even for families that are not rich. The reason why, from what community care licensing out here explained, and parents explained to me when I was nannying, it's just a way to protect the kids. Like, there's a lot of different laws that come to kids. You don't just want to have people's kids on camera. You don't want to just have people's kids on your social media. So NDAs are going to probably become more regular, especially in fields of healthcare and nannying as technology gets popular, because people could share your shit, share your kid on the internet for all to see. But she handled that well. Did you want to add anything to her comment to Hannah and Taylor about the NDA?
No, we can go forward from there because she didn't share nothing that wasn't like okay.
I was like, come on, Leah, though. You started out good by acknowledging the NDA just to end up acting a fool. But okay, girl. The ladies go to see their first family, the Goober. I'm gonna do like her and call them the G's. Okay.
I was just gonna say I was not butchering that last name. Their names are the G's.
The G's, who got on my last nerve, my everlast nerve. The G's is a family that is going to need 2 nannies. Leah is taking one of the spots to be a nanny for them. And then in addition to that, oh, somebody on the freeway with the loudest Fred Hammond, not y'all slapping the gospel. But Leah's taking one of the spots, and one of the spots will be available for the girls. The family does not want to have a male nanny. Understandably, they got 2 small daughters. They prefer to have a female nanny. Keep that in y'all mind, because I was extremely annoyed with this family. I'm going to just say this now because it's going to irritate me if I don't. Y'all said that you didn't want a male nanny, but then when the female nannies came, you critiqued them and acted insecure as hell. So if you so insecure, wouldn't you want a man watching them? And then y'all rich as hell. You got security. You got your grandma. You got all of this. Quite as kept grandma could fucking watch them. But, you know, I'm just looking at this family like they're crazy. Each family, I liked that Hulu did this. Each family has requirements for their nannies. This family requires them to sing lullabies, arrange food, and serve food because they have chefs, but they want the nanny to plate the food. And the food must be plated with Louis Vuitton chopsticks. I didn't even know Louis Vuitton made chopsticks, and I own a Louis Vuitton purse. I did not know. I didn't know.
I didn't know either. I was like,
we regular.
I mean, right. I'm like, okay. Well, do you put them in the dishwasher? Do you throw them away after you're done with them? Like, what do you do with them afterward? I had so many questions. I was like,
and they were pretty.
And they were very pretty. I wouldn't even eat. I wouldn't eat with those. Like, I just wouldn't unless I just had 1,000 of them just laying around.
Listen,
how much do they cost too? That's another question.
That's the biggest question of all. But I'm not the best with chopsticks. I would not be able to get that job. Bitch, do you have a Louis Vuitton fork? That's what I want to know. or a Louis Vuitton.
And I would love to understand because they're not of Asian descent, at least not that I recognize. So what is the purpose of the chopsticks and eating with them?
Maybe they eat Asian food a lot. Maybe they enjoy that cuisine. But I mean, me and Mr. Best eat Thai food about 2 times a week.
Girl, I couldn't tell you the last time I used chopsticks. It's probably 2012, maybe.
I only really use chopsticks if I'm eating dim sum, like some dumplings, and like that's the only time.
I might eat them with sushi, but I haven't had sushi in a minute. It's probably been a good 2-3
You better
years.
than me. I use my hand.
No.
Oh Lord, I love sushi. Now I'm gonna want sushi. Um, where was I? I got sidetracked. This family is the Hot Mess Express. On top of the chopsticks, the other requirement is to be demure.
Interesting requirement.
This is extremely interesting. It's kind of an
Interesting
unrealistic
requirement.
event. That girl made that word popular, and y'all don't realize that it is describing like characteristic traits. Either you got it or you don't. But
Right. That's not like something that can be something you can train yourself to be in instantly. Like that's something that takes years of
years,
practice.
yeah. I'm like,
So it's like because you know you have to understand those of us who went to charm school, that's what you're trained to do. And it's months, almost years of training, depending on how well you catch on. That's why they have charm school. So that was a very interesting request. And I thought she was meaning to be conservative when she said it. But then when we watched the episode, that's not what she meant.
that's not what she meant at all. I didn't like this family at all. They kind of annoyed me, and they took a little something away from the show. You could tell this family was like, we're on TV. And something about that just came across as disingenuous. The ladies go through their interviews. I'm not going to go through everyone's interview, y'all. We are just recapping it. But the interesting interview that I found to be odd that is worth discussing was Taylor. Now, Taylor, why are we crying in interviews about our difficult upbringings, and you're bitch, baby shark, do 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 do. Why are you talking about your childhood? E is for Elmo. S is for square. That's all you need to nanny. Now, these people are asking for a little more, but why was it just me? Did you feel a way about that lady telling them about that in the interview? Because I was like, this is odd.
I felt like it was unnecessary. And to me, it was kind of like you didn't know what to do. So you wanted to play the sympathy card thing. And I didn't like that at all about her. There was a few things I didn't like about this. I'm sure you'll get to another one in just a second because we probably see eye to eye on this. But that was one of the things I did not like because it's a common thing that the colorless women do. Is when you don't feel like you have the advantage or you don't feel like you're going to win, your first resort is to cry and make people feel sorry for you.
Yep.
And get empathy because you're taught that your tears have power, which in some cases they do. But I don't like when they use them and they do this. That's something that annoyed me right away with Taylor. That's why I said I don't see it for her.
I don't either. I know that sounds mean, and me and James are honestly the most empathetic and kind people, but
yes,
it's like a lot of people have had hard childhoods. Generally, like because it's a show about nannies and this was a job interview, I expect them to conduct themselves like they're in a job interview.
yes.
You're not going to talk about your childhood in your job interview. And also, it might not get you the job because what if they're concerned that your bad childhood will rub off on their rich child? Like, what if they're concerned? But it is what it is. I'm not going to go too much into the interviews. Something else that was worth talking about while the ladies were interviewing, they were speaking about Mrs. G, the wife, because she looked at Taylor all sorts of crazy. And Taylor, you loudly said, she's looking at me crazy, and then reenacted the face right when they were watching you. Like, this is why we don't see it for Taylor, okay? But they start talking about how insecure they think this lady is. They were really annoyed with it. You have nannies, pretty girls. And this is why James said he was expecting a little something different, because back in the 90s, when we were coming up, if someone had a nanny, and I went to private school and saw a lot of kids with nannies, they were Juanitas and Bertha.
They were older than your parents. So I'm going to put it to
Yes.
you that way. They were older than you. Not so much the same age as your grandparents, but they were older than your parents, where they had just a little, and a little bit more knowledge.
It's
Yes,
interesting to see the difference in nannies. And then we have to think of the show The Nanny. It's actually one of my husband's favorite shows, oddly.
yes.
But that show was so popular because Fran was the cute bad bitch of a nanny, and that was not a
right.
thing. So
yes.
I do understand how they feel away. I I have experienced some of the discomfort with the husbands. It happens. That's where being professional counts. But I was here for Hannah. Hannah said, "We don't want your man. We want your dollar." Okay.
Right.
Okay. Because these people be wanting someone to love their child like you. Who
Okay.
gonna love your child like you? Nobody.
And no shade, he wasn't cute at all to be parading about. So
The husband was handsome, but like you said, he wasn't
he wasn't like
stand out handsome.
yes, it wasn't like we talking about like how Jude Law was, because I didn't blame that nanny at all.
Them people too, I was kind of annoyed with them in Sydney's interview. I don't want to get too much into it, but what annoyed me is they attacked her for her clothing. Now, what I will say, as a woman, you don't go to a job interview with your shoulders and arms out. I don't give a fuck how hot it is outside. You just don't. You want to be cute? Do that elsewhere. If you weren't a nanny, you'd have to adhere to a dress code. But she don't even got titties to have cleavage. The way they picked apart that woman, talking about, oh my God, her cleavage is out. Her titties was covered and she looked like she an A cup.
They must live in Dubai, because that's why I was like, there's no way that y'all like, you didn't expose who got selected. Let me stop.
I mean, you already did earlier on. If they watching the recap, they've seen it. Sydney was chosen for the job. James explained it earlier in the episode, but I don't like to see women tearing down other women for things that make us women. Like, you complaining about the most flat-chested girl there when other girls was there with bigger titties that was way more noticeable, even covered up. So I'm like, are y'all just playing for the show, or I didn't get it.
See, because to me, my thing is, why did you pick her then, if that was the case?
Leah, as Sydney kept saying, and she was irritating me, I'm the closest to Leah, so I'm kind of expecting to get the first job.
And that also pissed me off too, that Leah did what she did. Because Leah, you're not slick. You're not slick at all.
You gave her that job.
Yes, and you picked this job because this was the higher net worth of the family that had the most connections. We not slick, and that's what I did not like. If you gonna come in, I didn't expect Leah to even nanny in at all. Like, I thought she was coming in as sort of like the recruiter, like the madam, I thought she was doing that. I didn't know she was actually going to be doing it herself as well. So
she explained it in the beginning, but she said it very quick. But she did tell them that she would be nannying.
But that's the thing. I didn't expect her to. I guess that's what my misinterpretation of her is. I guess she wasn't it, but I thought she was more into building the agency and taking the back seat.
Here's the thing: if she really wants to build an agency and take the back seat, she has to be willing to not make money during that time and to let others. And listen, Hannah kept saying it. I got to pay my rent in New York and I got to pay rent here. I need a job. Okay. Hannah kept saying it. So I feel like it might be something similar with her, but it's not fair to have other people come out somewhere, make them pay rent. If you know you're going to be nannying, also, that means that they're going to ask you, likely the parent, can you recommend someone, and choose who you recommend.
Yes.
So fairly recommend people. I'll give her a pass because it's the first and it's her best friend. But if she don't select the right people going forward, I feel like Leah's going to be a problem.
I do too. And I didn't want that because, you don't want the person who's bringing the concept and the person who's in charge to be the biggest problem so far. And I think that was the biggest issue I had with her this far, was like, okay, so you set out this job for yourself. Then why you just didn't say, well, I'm going to bring 2 of y'all instead of the 5 of y'all because I'm going to tell them who I want, versus making all them interview. One girl was crying. The other one is confused. You have this one who looked like she didn't even stand a chance against, our chocolate sister. And then you have, come on, you could have just brought Sydney with you, say, hey, y'all already hired me. This is who I'm hiring in place of me. That's, going to be my understudy or my co-dependent. This is us. I'd rather her do that.
I agree. We are going to move forward, y'all. She does announce some jobs that are going to be for Taylor and the boys, which we're going to talk about in a moment. A lot of the women are expressing that they need the work. I hope that they're able to get it. But the first night, the ladies decide to go out, as well as some of the mannies. And this lady, Leah, got so drunk that she took a traffic cone that is on the ground and put it upon the top of her head.
I was
This
like,
is what I
wow.
call melanin redacted behavior. Black people do not do these things. We don't. We don't.
First of all, that's because we all were raised with mamas that said, put that shit down. And we put it down, and you 9 out of 10, we was going to get a whooping if we got home.
I never picked up a traffic cone with the intention to put it on my head.
I never touched anything that did not belong to me. I didn't have that kind of mom. Like, my mom, even when I wanted a toy off the store, my mama said no, so I knew I wouldn't get it. I had one time to act up before I knew never to touch nothing. So I never touched nothing that wasn't mine.
I was just
The sense of entitlement is what's so funny about her.
maybe I hoped her ass got a ticket. But she got pissed drunk. She had that death stare. She was, huh? I said, oh yeah, you drunk. When they get that death stare and then she started getting aggressive and irritated with people. And you know, shout out to Tamaya because she's used to it. She needs to lay down. I said, I love my people. Because no matter what, everybody else was like, oh, what do we do? She said, I know you. I'm talking about you. You doing too much. Somebody had to tell her. Leah, I like to have a good time too. I'm a fun time, but even if you weren't working, why get that fucked up? That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't understand it. How did you feel about Leah's extracurriculars?
I felt like that's something that she shouldn't have done, being that she was trying to be the, agency, CEO or whatever it is she's trying to create. I feel like she needs to lead by example.
Yeah,
I don't mind them going out and having a good time. I feel like they're on this very exotic island, a lot of rich people, a lot of partying going around. That is absolutely fine. But if you're setting a standard where you don't want people to drink 12 hours before they're supposed to start a shift, then I would imagine that practice would make perfect and y'all would just not do that. Maybe have a drink or two and enjoy yourselves. But to get pissy drunk and to a point where everybody that you hired is looking at you like you're supposed to be leading us, that's
they
a
were all
problem.
upset. I was actually happy in some ways to see that they were disappointed in her drinking and
Yes.
had expectations because it shows these people are young, but they take their work seriously and it says
Mm-hmm.
something about their ethic.
Yes.
I respect them for that, but I hope they confront Leah like the group so that it's not.
Absolutely, because we would if this was us and Leah was talking about, oh yeah, we want y'all to be the number one content creators, but this is my rule: you can't get drunk. And we see that she got pissy drunk and shit. You don't think you and I would have sat her down and said, okay, what's happening? Because we don't. If you're gonna have a rule for us, that rule need to apply to you because you're the one that wrote it.
Period. Let them know, James.
Yes.
Let them know. And that's honestly, that's leadership 101. I remember when I first became a retail manager, it was years and years ago. I was 21. And the guy who trained me, that's my OG. Shout out to Stuart. I love that man. But he told me, you want to be successful. I don't care if you manage in a retail corporate America or get your degree someday. Don't ask nobody to do nothing that you wouldn't be willing to do yourself. Don't give nobody no rules that you yourself cannot follow because they won't respect you. All hell will break loose. And I feel like that's
Yep.
what's going to give us a season. I
Yep.
am okay with that though. If you are still watching this far in, we are halfway through this review. I do hope that you consider liking the video. If you really like what we are doing here, consider subscribing to the channel. I do have my own channel, Mrs. Best Reviews, where you are watching this video. I'm going to collaborate when you guys are watching this video. We'll be collaborated with Watch Your Mouth Reviews. So you will also be able to see this video on his channel if you want the link to it, because we would love for James to get to 500 subscribers. It is in the description of this video. It's free to click. It's free. Moving on along, you guys. And please let me know also for those who watch this review, if you enjoy it and you would like me to do this review live, I am open to doing this review live. It would have to be on a Friday or on a Wednesday. Those are the only days I have available to add a live, but I am willing to cover this live if you guys like the show. But let's get back into the foolery. After Leah pisses the whole cast off, we get to see the other people on a second job. It's 3 daddies. They are all gay. No, they are not a throuple. What happened is 2 of the men, I'm going to explain this the best way I can. 2 of these men were married to each other. They had a child. They separated. One of them remarried. They have a child on the way. They have the kids they already had. So they're just kind of all dealing with each other because they're all rich as fuck and their kids are siblings. And honestly, I'm not mad at it. It's like, before I get
It
into,
seemed
I'm about
seemed
to
like
read,
healthy co-parenting to
they're
me, but
they're not really parenting, but whatever it is that they're doing it out of the love for a child. And I wish so many more people, and I know a lot of people will miss the message and not take the opportunity to try and compare it or apply it to their lives because they're a same-sex couple. But I'm not saying you have to live with your person like these guys are doing, but the goal should be whatever's best for the child. And they obviously are concerned with the child. And I respect that about them. But they are raising their kids together. They got their money from apartments and selling their companies and all of this stuff. I like that they were able to clearly explain it. But the kids were a mess. I wanted to whoop their daughter's ass something vicious. I want to fix it. I want to.
because the little boy was sweet, but that little girl was spoiled. This had talking about some caviar in the pan colada.
I said to my
Girl.
husband, and I might get canceled for this. I said, the child of gay, the little girl gives more gay queen than the little boy. The little boy seems over the family. Honestly, the little boy.
He just looked lost. He just looked like,
He's
I'm
like, how did
just
this become my life?
here. I mean, I'm just here. I don't know what's going on. And the little girl's like, you got to be different. You got to be like me. When I was looking at her,
No,
like,
that
oh.
little bitch, I said it. Let me tell you something. When she snapped at Mitchell to go do something and they just let her, I said, oh, she could snap at adults? The fuck is this? That'd be the day I go to jail and Mrs. Best won't be nannying no more. You're not going to snap at anybody. And the fact that parents didn't correct that is ridiculous. Rich or not, teach your kids some respect. Teach
Right,
them some respect.
because she can't just go around snapping at people because one day she's gonna snap at the right person and they're gonna knock the shit out of her. Yeah, absolutely. Like,
and if you
because
don't
to
respect
me,
authority and if you don't respect others, regardless of if they're rich like you or not, she's going to have a hard time in life.
she really is. Y'all better keep her life private as possible because I'm telling you, the moment it go public, it might not be too good for her. And see, and this is where if I was a nanny, this is where I would say, okay, I am not the best fit for this position. I appreciate your time, but I thank you so much, but I'm not a good fit for this position. The moment the little girl starts snapping, I'm not a good fit. So I will go ahead and remove my application. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Shout out to Mitchell, though, because Mitchell, he didn't respond. And that was the right thing to do. When you have a kid that is disrespectful, that is not yours, you either don't respond or you wait for their mama to go away and you be like, I'm going to tell your mama and I'm going to never bring your ass candy. Something. But you know, he made it clear, if you're going to work with me, you're going to be respectful. Also, I don't know why she was snapping the men around anyway. She got her female nanny. And
okay, so that's why she was there.
Yeah.
Why there?
They wanted a female nanny for their daughter. And it sounds like they wanted a male nanny for their son.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Which does make sense. The daughter needs to chill, though. But, the requirements were odd. Oh, and I'd also like to point out that little girl ordered a mocktail. Let me explain something to y'all. If a child their age knows what a mocktail is, you are not allowing your child to be a fucking child. These kids are under the age of 10. Ordering pina coladas.
The most thing she can order to me is some chocolate milk or some shit. Like, you're not finna sit up here and drink no mocktail. What the hell is going on? And then she talking about some caviar. Y'all know how expensive caviar is?
It's not even about how expensive that is. Her stomach is not developed enough to digest that.
Right. If y'all can get that baby a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and call it a day. Like,
I used to watch the Kardashians. Courtney was giving them kids chicken fingers that was organic and healthy and shit, but she was giving them kid food. Like, please. But I gotta remember these as kids. That little girl irked me something vicious. She really got on my nerves. She really did. I can't stand children that's rude. I can't fucking stand it. It's the African in me. I can't. I wanted to ring her up. But the requirements for the kids and to be a nanny is these nannies have to do glam for the kids and the dads. Why don't you hire an assistant?
An assistant,
An
yeah. I said
executive
the same thing.
assistant.
I'm like, that's not a
That's
nanny's
free.
job to wait for y'all. It's a nanny's job to wait for your children. That's why they're called nannies. And
It'd
it's
be funny if someone turned around and told them, like, I'm not comfortable with that. That's actually why I work with kids. That's a trigger. Like, nobody wants to wash and tan, especially Paw.
yeah. But as soon as he came out in that speedo, I said, oh no, I got to go.
It was
There's
like
no.
being in a GTA mission before
And
it
see,
went
Mitchell was
wrong.
all for it. Mitchell was like, yeah, I'm gonna get, because he want the money. But see, the actual gay one, I forgot his name already. John,
Jack.
Jack. Okay,
Yeah.
Jack. Jack was like nervous because he was like, what?
I think because Mitchell know he ain't attracted to man, he just worried about the dollar. He said, I'll spray whatever you need. That's also not a good attitude to have when you're an independent contractor because people will take advantage of that,
Yes.
especially families. Like they definitely will. But
That's when them contracts go and void, and then there's a dark contract that y'all get. So you better be careful because that's, they had his eye, they had their eye on Mitchell. I saw that.
here's the thing. I told my husband, I said, if you claim to be heterosexual and you tell me this what you doing for money, nah, we're gonna flip it. We're gonna change the narrative of society and you're gonna be a house husband or something. Ain't no way I'm spray tanning anybody. Woman, man, child, like no. If it was the kids, fine. But I think it's crazy the dads want that. The other requirement is the dads want them to be able to swim 500 meters in the open ocean. Like
Already, I don't qualify.
500 meters isn't too it's not too far.
Like I
It's just the
said, I
fact
don't
that he
qualify.
wants them to do it in the open ocean is the part for me. Because them currents, it's like which direction? Now, if I'm swimming toward the shore, I got you. But if you want me to swim against the current, I mean, I can do it, but it's gonna take hours. Knowing me, I'm gonna need breaks. But I think that's an odd requirement. I do feel like a nanny knowing how to swim is necessary, especially if you have a pool and kids like to swim. But I just thought that was weird. But Olivia found a way to connect with with their daughter. She claims she understands her. We have to remember Olivia grew up rich. So in some ways, she's probably seeing a lot of herself in the little girl and knows how to get through. And honestly, I liked her style of how she just kind of talked to the kid. A lot of times people talk to kids like they're stupid. Just talk to them like they're people. That's the best way to not, and how was it today? Like, it's okay to talk to them like people because I feel like we be getting on kids' nerves sometimes with that. Let's see. They asked Mitchell to come to a gay bar, which pissed me off because I'm getting tired of LGBTQ doing this. If the man is in your fucking face, is in your house, and is good with your kids, so much so that he taught your son how to tie a shoe, something you couldn't do. I just put him in Velcro. So y'all are worried about him being comfortable with your sexuality, but your son don't know how to tie a shoe. Where what the fuck are they doing? There's no excuse for a child his age to not know how to tie the shoe. And the sadder part is the little boy connected more with Mitchell. Listen, kids, you'll know if they gay or straight. You will know. Even if they think you don't know, you will know. And I don't think the little boy is going to end up in a same-sex relationship.
Oh, no, for sure.
I think that's why he connected more with Mitchell, because he was probably happy to be around somebody who can explain to him something that his dads can't. And that is not a dig. They are homosexual. If their son seems like he is not, then there may be stuff that he got questions for that they can't answer. Hell, one of them said there was a 40-year-old virgin until he came out. And that's actually very common because for my generation, James's generation, and anyone older than us, it's taboo. But I think it's a little much to ask someone to come to a gay club as a requirement to nanny for your child because you want to make sure that they are comfortable with your sexuality. And he didn't display any discomfort. So I thought that was odd. But they did end up choosing Mitchell for the job, and I think it's because he taught the little boy something. And the little boy looked so appreciative of it, and he did it in a way that counts. That lets them know he can probably help with homework, teach him to problem solve. Like, these things do matter. But overall, I thought they did the right thing by choosing Mitchell. How did you feel about the choice?
I thought it was the most logical choice.
Or
I
about
thought
all of it?
the choice was logical to me. I felt like that was the best fit because Mitchell really did put in time. Sexuality aside, really odd request aside, Mitchell really did take the time to really bond with the little boy, and I thought that that was probably the most telling situation of why he was the best fit. So I'm gonna start there. The other thing is, I thought them all three of them daddies were doing way too much and require way too much of people. I don't care how much they paying me. I'm not doing all that. So if y'all want me, we're gonna have to renegotiate some terms. Or y'all can just find somebody else. I see why y'all don't have a nanny now. Because initially y'all do too much. Y'all need a personal assistant. And y'all have the money. So I don't want to put myself in a position if I'm supposed to be taking care of the baby, that's what I want to do. Fuck what y'all want. Like
Honestly,
that's all,
that's how it should be.
right.
That's literally how it should be. Focus on that. They were just,
They're
I
just
think
odd.
they were just odd, down to the hair, the Botox. None of them
Yeah.
look good, but they think they do.
The
I don't know.
wig, that wig was just something terrible too. I was like,
It
oh
stressed me
Lord.
out.
Oh Lord.
But they do seem like they play with their kids, they engage with their kids. I did like that about them. I heavily respect the fact that all three of them are parenting children, even with a divorce amongst two of them. And I like that even though they were questioning if that man was okay with their sexuality, they still made the best choice for their child versus the choice that probably would have brought them some like social comfort, which would have been the other Manny. Um, Moving forward, back at the G's house, Sydney and Leah are watching the girls. The B family is over the top and done made them change clothes. This lady wants to be called every 15 minutes or texted. No, I'm with Sydney on that. How the fuck am I supposed to care for your kid if I have to call you or text you every 15 minutes? What if I am putting your child down? Do y'all understand? To put a kid down, especially kids that ain't got this. Okay, listen, they be needing the most silence, certain that like it is a lot. And you want me to interrupt caring for your child so I can give you an update. How can they effectively do their job if they're being micromanaged, which Sydney did mention? It seems like Sydney's just not feeling it. I hope she quits. Do you think Sydney will quit?
Yes. I will quit. Because here's the thing. Y'all got too much time on your hands. What you need a nanny for? Like, what do you need? If y'all, like, literally, y'all have too much time in your hands. If I have to call you every 15 minutes, if I got to check in, and then you silently watching me, trying to see what I'm going to do and everything, it's like, well, then what do you need a nanny for? Do
They
you
were
not
just
want
doing
to?
too much for the camera.
Yeah.
You think we need to hire someone to watch them? Man, go away. And if you're so worried about your husband lusting after a woman with some cleavage, bitch, you could cover up or you could uncover. She was covered from her neck to her fucking ankle. I just
My
don't
thing
like
is,
these
if he ain't
people.
cheated before, he ain't going to cheat now.
He probably
That's
has
how.
people.
That's why I'm saying. That's why I said that because I feel like, well, what the
I
hell is
want
the
to look
difference?
them up too, James, because listen, my mother-in-law worked in dentistry for over 30 years. Dentistry, they make great money, but not to have all of what they got. I need to know more on their money because
Oh
they
no,
didn't
no,
clearly
it's
explain
generational wealth. No, they did explain it's
it. Okay.
generational
They
wealth.
said it's
Yeah,
generational.
it's generational wealth.
For what?
The mama. So they were into some type of stock. I think it was either oil or it's some kind of stock that the family.
Ah,
Yeah, it's generational wealth. They just happen to become
okay.
dentists. Yeah, so it's the mama who got the money. That's why she there.
I would hate to see them fix anyone's teeth. Uh, they get on my
Especially
nerves. Did you?
looking at their teeth. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah.
Meanwhile, y'all, the episode ends with Leah in a room talking to Olivia. They're talking about, what it's like if they've ever had dads hit on them and things like that. And Leah was like, I've actually fucked a dad before. And Olivia was so concerned with this information. Leah,
You got too many red flags and
do you
strikes.
not want a
Like,
job after this? Like, you
like,
slept with the dad and you said it on national television. The Kardashian shit was controversial
already.
behind her.
So now we got to wonder about you having a philandering eye towards the men now. So I mean, and granted, it does happen. I'm sure it does. But the thing about it is, that's something I would take to my grave, especially if I'm trying to build my own agencies with nannies.
Nobody will trust you or your
Now nobody's
girls.
gonna trust her, and then the way she moved with her drinking and shit, like I get it, she's a young girl. Have your own fun. What she does in her private life is her business. But the problem is, you public now on a television screen. So that all goes out the window. Like if she were in her private life doing this, y'all, I would have no issue because that's what she wants to do. Can't nobody see it but the people in that facility. But the fact that you on public television trying to build a business that requires you to have decorum is what we're talking about. So yeah, if I was Olivia, I would be like, I would probably be gone. I'd be like, okay, well, this is my resignation letter because I see right now this ain't finna go nowhere. So let me go ahead and age a stage left. I appreciate the opportunity. I hope y'all figure out the rent situation, but I'm gone. I would leave. The moment she said that, I would have gone. They wouldn't even, the house wouldn't even know I left. What happened to James? I don't know what happened. Yeah, where'd he go? What happened to James? Listen, I don't want no parts of no foolishness. She just outed herself. So that means season 2 come around. She got to explain that, and then she might lose credibility.
She's going to, but maybe she's banking on the show. Maybe she's banking on the show being successful. I respect her for wanting to build something, but she broke every fucking rule that she set, and it just makes it really hard to respect
Not only
it.
that, she violated code of conduct and ethics too. So
yeah, that's a little weird, caring for the child of someone's like it. There's so many boundaries that get crossed, and I was going to do 2 episodes per review, but after watching episode 1, I said, "Whew."
it was a lot.
I was like,
It's
my
one
God, I text
episode.
James like it's just gonna be one friend.
And I was so glad because I hadn't watched this yet. I just watched it this morning, and I said, episode 1 was enough. One, I'm sold.
It was a lot.
But
And
it
it
was
was
a
long.
lot and it was long. But the thing about it is, we ain't even at the core of the meat and the potatoes, as I like to say. We just opened it in the can.
This is the truth. This is actually
Right.
the truth. Y'all, that was it for our premiere. This was season 1, episode 1, titled Where's the Nanny? Let us know how y'all felt about this premiere in the comments. Let's keep the conversations going in the comments. To those who are watching now during the premiere, hey, y'all look good. And thank you. We appreciate you for watching. James has also just added Next Gen NYC to his roster. He's doing the 2nd season again. What else? He has RHOA that happens on the weekend, as well as Bell Collective and Heart and Hustle Houston. Be sure to tap into our weekend reviews. The next time I will be live on my channel will be on Saturday. I'm going to coordinate with James, Kiwan, and Tamika's Den so that we could get out a Love After Lockup review. This is Polly. I'm so torn. Like, I want to do pre-records, but then I don't know if I want to keep doing This Is Polly live. They really stress me out, and Bree scares me. But This Is Polly is going to be on Saturday as well. So we do have a lot of content coming out. See the links in the description. Subscribe to both channels. Shout out to everybody watching for the Watch Your Mouse Reviews channel as well. Did you want to add anything before we depart?
No, it was a good show, good time. I can't wait to see what happens.
We can't either. These reviews will be out on Wednesdays and Fridays if I can, but we'll say Fridays for sure. But other than that, love and light, thug life. I'll see y'all next time. Adios.